Welcome to Marvel Rules TV, and I want to talk about Granit Xhaka as he might be leaving the club. Now, there were stories from last week vis-a-vis Xhaka going. Jose Mourinho, obviously manager now at Roma, has been in for him and is apparently supposedly an admirer of him. But I think it's time Xhaka left. I think a lot of people can't get over the fact, and fairly so, or understandably so, I should say, that we could have got Xhaka over Kante, or sorry, we could have got Kante over Xhaka. And I think basically he's never been the right profile. Now, the thing is, he has some strengths. I just have some thoughts here. You know, Xhaka for me is not my favourite player, but I'm not as vitriolic to him as others are, and a lot of others are in the fan base. I think Xhaka, I think it's harsh to say he's a shit player, but he's not the best midfielder in the world. And I think with a different team, with a different style, he would look good. And I think a lot of people say in Italy he would look good because there's a slower pace, because it's, Italy's the home of the regista, isn't it? So, yeah, he probably would look better there with a slower pace. Mourinho may get the better out of him, different environment. He may prosper there. But I don't think he'll win La Scudetto anytime soon because I think Roma's a big club, but they're some way behind, Juve and Inter and what's his name, AC Milan. But yeah, these are just my thoughts though. A bit of waffling aside of his strengths. His long range passing is good, to be fair. He can switch the play well, and he can pick out forward runners like Pepe, like Gabby, like Saka, even Willian if he plays out wide, Aubameyang if he plays in a more wider area. Smith Rowe if he plays in a wider area. So that's a strength I'll definitely say he's got. Tenacity, I think he does like to tackle. Yes, he's not the best at tackling, but you can see from his general play that he is up for a physical fight. And leadership, now, that's a questionable one. But let's forget, he is the Swiss international captain, which you can see listed below, a couple of points below leadership. And he was our captain, obviously, until the Palace incident, shall we say. And that leads to strong-mindedness. That obviously he's a player that the other players look up to, and the managers have looked up to. But I think even in some regards under Wenger, he was a captain to some. You can see he's a bit of an alpha personality in terms of probably behind the scenes he does look. He is someone you can look up to. He does seem very, I wouldn't say assured, but yeah, I get that vibe off him. So I can see why he is. People may laugh at leadership, but he wasn't made our captain. He wasn't made our captain for nothing. So let's put it that way. And yeah, as I said, Swiss international captain. So obviously, whoever the Swiss manager is, I don't know his name offhand, but yeah, and all the players they have, like Shaqiri, they obviously look up to. Weaknesses: he is error prone. That goes without saying. I don't think he's mobile enough. He is hot-headed. And ultimately, I think these points probably do lead to the Palace incident, in quotes. Yes, the fans were giving him shit, and yes, he got a lot of shit online, and sometimes in the heat of the moment, shit explodes. But that's for me, that's water under the bridge. Or that happened 18 months ago. And to be fair, since then he's been all right. He's not done badly for us since then. But overall, I wouldn't say he's ever been the right fit of player for us in that regard. And that leads to my final points on him. I don't think he's not been the right profile of midfielder that we required. yes, the Kante thing, but I think we did need someone of a Kante mold more than someone like with a deep line playmaker as he is. And I've got nothing against him, but I think it's time for a change for both his and our standpoint. So, if Xhaka does leave, then yeah, I wish him all the best. Good luck to him, and yeah, and that is that. Now, there's another story I want to talk about. There was a story of a Ghanaian midfield maestro, Thomas Partey, that he was sacked from the Ghanaian team because he got late, which apparently turns out to be nonsense. And oddly enough, Ghana's playing their neighbours because Cote d'Ivoire. So what? That's Pepe versus Partey. Yeah. Well, it would be if Pepe's in the squad this time. But from what I hear from the Evening Standard in the UK here, Arsenal midfielder Thomas Partey has been excused from Ghana's friendly against Morocco this week due to personal issues. Partey, however, is expected to return for his country's game against Ivory Coast, or Cote d'Ivoire. Well, Ivory Coast is Cote d'Ivoire in English, but that's by the by. On Saturday, which will take place in Ghana. So it's like England playing Scotland. It's playing, one of their closest neighbours, geographical neighbours. The 27-year-old met with Ghana boss Charles Akuno for an hour-long meeting ahead of the game with Morocco on Tuesday. Partey was Ghana's vice-captain, I didn't know that, later trained with the side before they left. That makes no sense, they don't proofread their stuff. Later trained with the side before they was let traveled to Morocco. The Ghana Football Association said on Monday Thomas travelled to Cape Coast on Thursday to meet coach Charles Akuno over some personal issues. Cape Coast, by the way, is a city in Ghana. After the meeting, which lasted for about an hour, the coach excused him from the trip to Morocco and asked him to report to camp for the second game against, Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast. It's the same place. As the first deputy captain of the Black Stars, Thomas later joined his colleagues in training to show solidarity and support before leaving for Accra. That's the capital. The Arsenal midfielder will therefore team up with the rest of the squad on Thursday when the team returns from Morocco. There had been some suggestions that Partey been axed from the Ghana squad as he was left out of the group travelling to Morocco. The Ghana Football Association have dismissed that, and Partey's camp have also poured cold water in that talk too. So yeah, that's what they're saying. That's rubbish. He wasn't sacked. One of his representatives, Samuel Seagar, tweeted, "I wish to put on record that Thomas Partey's absence from the Black Stars team in Morocco was duly communicated to the Ghana Football Association and approved. Please disregard any false publication circulating in the media about his absence in the Black Stars camp. His passion for the game and his commitment to the national team remains unwavering." So yeah, what these personal issues he discussed with what's his name is, that's obviously between them. So yeah, no bad PR then for the club or for Partey then as a result of this thing. So hopefully that's something that will be buried soon. And I just want to end this on some positive news, or more positive news. A certain young player from our club has won our Player of the Season award, and justifiably so, Bukayo Saka, or Buyaka Saka. So, Bukayo Saka capped a dream week by being named Arsenal's Player of the Season. Saka began the week by being named in England's 2020 squad on Tuesday, making the final 26-man cut for this summer's tournament despite stiff competition. On the same day, Saka was also nominated for Premier League Young Player of the Season. I believe Phil Foden won that, following an impressive 2021 campaign with Arsenal. On Wednesday, it got even better for Saka as he started for England in their Euro 2020 warm-up friendly against Austria, scoring his first senior international goal to earn a 1-0 victory at the Riverside Stadium. Saka was also nominated for the PFA's Young Player of the Season award the same day, while on Friday, the 19-year-old was named Arsenal's Player of the Season. Arsenal fans voted for the award, with 51% opting for Xhaka, with second best Pepe. I personally wouldn't have voted. Look, Pepe's had a good season, but I wouldn't have voted him second place. Second for me, probably Tierney, maybe Lacazette, but I definitely would agree that Xhaka should have won the award. So yeah, I think, to be honest, that's no surprise, but Xhaka is really the first in a long line of Arsenal players, or the latest, I should say, in a long line of Arsenal players who really could go on to have a good career in the game. So the last one I'd say we produced of any consistent quality was Ashley Cole, and that was years ago, 20 years ago. But you have to look at the likes of Wilshere could have been at that level, and I think had the technical ability to be at that level, but due to injuries, I guess. Then obviously you have to look at like the mainstay of like the George Graham title-winning teams. Ray Parlour. Then you have to look at the mainstay of the George Graham teams. So you can't forget Ray Parlour. Ray Parlour started off in his Arsenal career not good, but I think it's more or less when Wenger came, he started to really improve, and obviously he was integral in the doubles and played a part in the Invincibles too. Then you had, what's his name? As I said, the George Graham, of course, Adams and Merson and Davis, Keown, Kevin Campbell, the late great Rocky Rocastle, Michael Thomas. Then going back a bit, Brady, Stapleton, O'Leary. Then of course the first double, with the bulk of those were youth players like Pat Rice and Ray Kennedy and people like that. So Xhaka hopefully could be the latest in a long line of, as I said, top quality youngsters. So yeah, thanks a lot for listening, everybody.